there are potentially like very, very negative bonds between, you know, people you have around you, okay? So if you're clinging on to, like, first of all, old jobs that you absolutely cannot work at anymore, it is really important for you to move forward and seek new job opportunities, because the job situation itself looks very problematic, okay? Like, you absolutely loathe it, and in the past position, it's something that you can't be a part of anymore. And you're hanging on mainly for financial reasons and for security, in order to pay the mortgage, in order to sustain your lifestyle, in order to just have that sense of security. And I do feel that it's hitting a point of diminishing returns. So if it's like a client base, if it's like a commission base, I do feel the residual income that you're getting is not as much as it was when you first started. So it's diminishing returns, and it's going to, this revenue stream is slowly going to like become a trickle, and then you're going to be in a little bit of a financial dire strait. So just make sure you get yourself out of it and seek employment elsewhere, because I do feel that the only thing keeping you here is like the negative headspace that you're in, which is, you know, thinking that you're not good enough, and thinking that I need this because if I don't have it, I can't, you know, sustain myself. So it's sort of like you're rationalizing as much about why you hate it as you are about why you should stay. And the point here is that, you know, it doesn't matter, as long as you hate it and you're not happy there, move on to better things. Life is too short, okay? So um, keep that sense of childlike optimism about you, and I do feel that you're going to do fine on job interviews. If you're hoping to land new work, you're going to be fine, and the universe will actually take care of you. So this is a card of success. So no matter what it is that has been plaguing you, and you don't really see an end in sight, you don't really see a way out, and you feel very trapped, it is going to end in a very, very like, I would say like successful. It's just going to be resolved, and it's going to be wrapped up in a very like satisfying way. So don't worry about it, okay? If you're in a work environment that you hate, just get out of it and move forward. Life is just too short for you to stay at a job that you hate. There will be many, many other job offers out there, so you don't have to worry about, you know, trying to scrape by or clinging on to things past their expiration date for financial security, because that's the really bad place to be. We want to develop to our full potential. We don't just want to work at a place, put in our 9 to 5, and then go home just to pay the bills. The that's not how life is meant to be lived, okay? Don't be bound to anything, especially like material possessions, especially like getting through the 9 to 5 just to make enough money, just to pay the bills, just so you can like go to sleep and then another day wake up and do it all over again. It's not worth it, and that's not what we're here to be as human beings. We're not robots, okay? We're meant to experience life and develop our potential to our fullest. So think of it like this. You know, you're like a master of many trades. So you want to learn as much as you can about each individual craft, each individual trade. If you quit this job, there's going to be another learning opportunity for you to probably work in a different field, and you're starting, it might feel like you're starting from the bottom of the ladder and you're working your way up all over again, and it might be a little bit frustrating. But I do feel at the end of it, you're also bringing in a lot of like disparate, like different job experiences and work experiences into whatever new endeavor that you're hoping to get, and people will see that you have a lot to offer. So think of it like that, okay? Rather than having to start at the bottom every single time, you're bringing new things, you're incorporating like previous knowledge into a more holistic you. So in a way, you're a very desirable worker. So don't be afraid to venture out and start over, or even like start a brand new venture, especially like stepping out of your comfort zone in terms of seeking employment, to find something that you love, to find something that's going to bring you passion, that you can see yourself staying there for years and not be bored out of your mind, okay? So leave this work situation. It's just not worth it. I do feel a lot of you have been there for like a period of like 7 years. 7 is a very karmic number. So if it's like something like that, and it's starting to dwindle out, and the fun, the excitement is fizzled out or has already dissipated, it's important for you to leave. Just you know, it's the end of a cycle. Move on to something better, and you're going to have a lot more success and happiness, okay? So aside from that, I do feel that In general, so let's talk about this gossip card. This is a card of gossip. Three of Cups in the reverse position. It's somebody like shouting things out and about. However, in this situation, I do feel that a lot of you, for some reason, are undergoing like either performance reviews, a lot of job interviews, or you're kind of, somebody is looking over your shoulder and monitoring you in some way, okay? And I do feel it might be like performance review. Maybe you're up for it. It is like, the pretty towards like the fall season. Well, we're in August, so it's almost the end of the summer, heading towards the fall, and I do feel like, performance reviews, I don't know how often they're done, but I would imagine every quarter. So that is in the works for you. I don't know why it doesn't show up for the other signs, but it's showing up for you, and I do feel that it's got you a little bit worried, okay? Rest assured, I don't feel anything bad is going to happen from this, but I do feel that usually I read this as a gossip card. So it could be like one person who you don't get along with, and they're in the, evaluation panel, and they might affect I guess, the other supervisor's opinion of you. So you're kind of like, you're not aware of this situation. So the important thing is, especially for this month, play nice in your work environment, okay? Don't try to stir up trouble, because I do feel it could be problematic for you, okay? So I do feel like not everyone is against you. It might feel like that, but I do sense that there's like one element, and they're trying to sway or at least influence the other people. I don't feel they're going to be successful, okay? So that's what I mean by when these two cards are together. It's usually like job interviews. It's usually like when people are talking about you in order to assess your abilities, in order to assess your credentials. It's not that they're gossiping about you, even though it can be conveyed that way, because technically they are talking about you. But in this situation, when these two cards are next to one another, it's very favorable that they're just talking about your capabilities, and they're talking amongst themselves about your, I guess, your assets as a fellow employee joining their team, okay, or as your potential to be on their team. So don't worry too much about it. I don't feel that you are aware of this at all, so maybe shouldn't brought it up, but I don't feel that it's going to affect you negatively. So keep that in mind. I do sense as well, if you're in a work environment where people have been like very like gossipy, if you're in your current work situation and you're just dying to leave, I do feel that new opportunities are going to come in for you. And it is really important for you to, apply for new work. And if you absolutely can't stand your current job, just leave altogether. It's going to give you more drive and more ambition in order to pursue a more favorable work atmosphere, okay? So if you need that drive, need that ambition, just push yourself out of your comfort zone and just quit your job that you absolutely hate. And then I do feel new work opportunities are going to be in for you. For those of you who are seeking like employment and have been seeking for a few months now, like since June, for example, I do feel that the first choice that you're hoping for in terms of employment might not fall through, but the point here is don't get discouraged, okay? Things don't work out for a reason, and I do feel that everything in general works. There's a reason for everything in life, okay? So it might be like this thing didn't work out and you're kind of pining over it and you're very upset. But I do sense that it is a delay for something better to come along, okay? So think of it as like this initial like pain of regret, but it's allowing something else better to come through. So we're kind of like hopscotching through this maze that we call life, and there might be obstacles, there might be blessings. So it's just a matter of helping you navigate through them so that you end up with the best result here. So I do feel divine intervention is in the works for this month, and it's definitely bringing new information to light. And I do feel because it's in the reverse position, there might be like very, very swift news that came in the very last week of July that has you a little bit rattled. Hence, you're in the reverse position coming in very early for this month. You're still trying to like recover from the aftershock of whatever it was that happened in July, okay? And I do feel it might be like a family situation, okay? It might deal with like fertility as well. We do have the Empress. And this to me indicates that you will be fine no matter what's happening around you. You will be okay. You will be victorious, because I do feel that the Empress is all about reclaiming your territory, feeling very empowered and feeling in control. So it's like the female alter ego of the Emperor, and rightfully so, because this card, it's somebody, it indicates like a very strong female, okay? So even male Geminis who are watching this, I do feel that for the first part of the month, you're going to feel a little bit shaken up and rattled and not really sure what to do. And then this tower situation, it's like new revelations coming through, but it's kind of like within your intuition is telling you this is going to happen. And then when it does happen, it's just like confirmation that you knew it all along. And because of it, you feel quite confident about how you want to proceed, because everything that you anticipated has already happened. So you know that, the worst is behind you, and that you have more clarity moving into the future. I do sense too, for a lot of you, this might be, if this happened in July, it might have concerned like a family member. It might have concerned like, possibly like people in your work situation as well, who haven't been like as supportive of you. They're like supportive to your face, but then behind you they talk all kinds of trouble. So it was a little bit problematic, and you're dealing with this coming through like last week of July. As for this month, I do feel that there is a little bit of conflict within the work environment and also in the home environment as well. So a lot of you might feel kind of like left out by coworkers. There's an element of, there's a very strong work element here. And especially in relationships as well, there might be news of pregnancy. There's a child in the picture. So the sun has a child, and there's the Empress. So there might be like gossip around the office or within your family unit about somebody, who's like married or who's like pregnant outside of wedlock. And I know it's silly saying that in this day and age. I don't feel like it's a big deal, because things happen, and single mothers are not always like it's not such a stigma in our day and age. And I do feel that there are some very old-fashioned elements in either your home, your work environment, or either, even with you, who might feel like it's a stigma. So they tend to talk about it and they dwell on it. And I do feel there's that element of like possibly be very careful as well, Gemini male and females, about getting back with exes. And if you are going to do that, I mean, if you're going to get into a physical relationship, use protection anyways, and you should always do that. But I do feel there's that element of unwanted pregnancy because you were involved with like an ex, okay? So this actually showed up for Aquarius as well. I haven't done Libra yet, but I feel like it might be affecting all air signs. So just be careful about that. And there's that element of Venus in retrograde, people from our past popping back in, and you might have a lingering attachment with an ex or somebody that was in your past that has not like proven to be a reliable, stable partner, but there's a very strong magnetic attraction between you and this other person. So you might get involved with them romantically, and then there's like once again a falling out, and then you end up like possibly with an unwanted pregnancy, okay? So I sense that very strongly for Aquarius, and I do feel like Aquarius are dating a lot of people. But for you as well, I don't feel other people are in the picture, but I do feel there is troublesome, meddlesome type of energy around you, circulating around you, like a lot of rumors, gossips, and things like that. You're going to be protected and you're going to be fine, and you feel that, you, I feel like for Geminis in general, whatever people have to say about you, it doesn't really detract from who you are, okay? You don't take it to heart, so you're going to be okay. But I do feel that if you are, just be very careful about, not getting yourself in situations where you're in like unhealthy relationships with exes, or you're in an on and off type of relationship. And just use protection. Just use protection. That's all I have to say for this month, okay? So the energy is coming in quite strongly, so I would urge you to please do that. Also, so earlier I drew out two cards. I haven't looked at them yet to see what the Tower is referring to. So the Tower is in the reverse position. So this is something I feel that it could have happened last month, or you're it could have like happened this month for like around the 16th, the week of the 16th. But either way, it's in the reverse position. So I feel that you have a little bit of a cushion, so you're going to be fine. You're not going to be hurt or, damaged by this situation, okay? It's something that you anticipated and you figure, okay, that's fine. I'll just move forward. And for a lot of you, it's going to be related to finances. So it's either an investment didn't come through, you might have rented a venue, you might have like put some money down on a work situation, and then the people basically reneged on their promises, on their obligation, and they withdrew from it. So then you lost your deposit, for example. And because of it, you're able to like just walk away from them for good, okay? Because you know that by this point, you know who your friends are, you know who your enemies are, and you basically know who's flaky and who's not. So you're going to like basically walk away from this, even though it might be a huge lump sum. I don't feel that you're going to be like extremely troubled by it. The only troubling aspect of this is that the people that you thought you could count on, they were, they talk big, but they don't really follow through. So this is, like I mentioned, the gossip situation. So I do feel that there is going to be a situation, possibly like if it's like unwanted pregnancy and you're trying to get rid of it, for example, I do see that coming through for you. Or if you're a Gemini male, you might be dealing with somebody like that, or you might have to help with somebody like that. And I don't like to mention these specifics, but I do feel that it's coming through very, very strongly. We have a child, we have fertility, we have, the Three of Swords, which indicates like a surgery, minor or major. And there's a sense of like financial element associated with it that you didn't anticipate, but you have to dish out. And as a result, you're kind of like limping away. So just be very careful for this month. I don't want to dwell on this too much, but I hope the message is getting across. The whole point of this is basically use protection. When it comes to exes, don't get too, personally invested in them, because I don't feel they're going to stay around for very long. And you're actually okay on your own. When it comes to the work front, a change of scenery is in order, and I feel that the new place or the new venue or whatever it is that you're getting into, it looks very favorable, okay? So a lot of clarity and insights and inspiration as well will come through the second half of this month. The first month, the first half of the month is mainly like maintenance and bookkeeping and, trying to find your bearing, trying to find out more information and trying to find where you stand with other people and where they stand with you. And I do feel elements that have been, troublesome in your life. I do sense that you've overlooked them in the past, because if you look like this, like they're whispering and you're within earshot. So you know what's going on, but you're choosing to turn your back. You're choosing to like overlook it and trying to be the bigger person. But I do sense that all of this is going to lead down, the tower in the reverse. Basically, is going to blow over. And then you're going to like be in a better frame of mind. So something is happening to remove these elements from your life for good. So in general, it looks to me like it's a very empowering month. So don't let them get to you. By the second half of this month, things are going to be okay and in your favor, okay?